Hello, my name is, well, you know me. I'm Professor Darla Jones. I'm going to introduce you to Netlabs. And the login credentials I will give you later, but for this purpose, I'm making a student account, so I made it dstudent, and I put the password in, and now you'll notice this is where you come in. Here's the URL to get in, and it'll come to this site. You'll notice we have some prime real estate right here. I'm pretty proud of that. And so, anyway, I'm going to log in, hopefully. There we go. Okay, I'm logging in as a student. Now, I just came in for the first time, so I have to change my password to something different. I will give you a default password, and then you're going to make a password. So, you're going to have repeat it. All right, and you'll submit. We don't worry about changing our email address. You can change it if you'd like it to, but it really doesn't matter. Now, this is important. We're right here where it says Eastern Time. We have to fix this. In fact, mine is wrong right now. It's in Eastern Time, but I didn't set it up. Somebody else set it up. So we go down here and we look for +8 because we're looking for from Greenwich Mean Time, which is in England. Oh, where's +8? We're looking for Pacific Time. We are way off because I'm in Eastern Time. I think that's why. Probably at the very end. There it is. Okay. Greenwich Mean Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. If you don't get that part right, everything's going to be screwed up. So don't mess this part up. Okay? However you want to set the time for yourself, rock your world. If you want it to look however you want it to look, you choose. I'm going to pick this one. I like 24, but I think I'm going to put it on 12 for me. On this one, you could put either 12-hour or 24-hour if you like military time. But I'm going to do that, so it's obviously 3:37 in the morning. And, but I'm on. So anyway, and then I can put the first day of the week is Sunday. Then you submit. My account is ready to use. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to see up here your login credentials, view, and view will show you labs that you've done before. Excuse me. Schedule. This is where you're going to go next when you're ready to do a lab reservation. So we can go here because it's saying you have no lab reservations. I can actually do it from schedule here and just say schedule lab for myself, which is what you're going to do as a student, or you could do it from here. Let's do this one. Okay. Now I have to pick which lab I'm going to do. Now I've just assigned you 2 labs. One of them is types of networks and the other one is the OSI model. I figure we may as well dig in and just show you the beginning of the OSI model and go from there. This is going to bring you to the scheduler. When you schedule, you typically want to schedule immediately. And when you do that, you want to get really close to this line right here, because then I can get started. Yeah, it's 5 in the morning. I click there, and it's going to let me do this. My start time is going to be 5:06, and my end time will be 6:06. If I want it, or 6, I have 43 minutes scheduled. Well, for right now, that's okay. But if I wanted more time, I could easily come in here and just click it to 8 a.m. or something. Now, I recommend on the OSI one especially that you give yourself 3 or 4 hours, just so that you don't time out. But there are other ways to extend your time. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at what it is and not waste any pod time. So I'll just take 43 minutes. Okay, once I do that, I can submit. My reservation has been assigned and scheduled on a pod. Now I'll get something like this. It says enter the lab. So it's telling me that I have 42 minutes when I get in there and that I'm going to be doing lab 1 and I'm going to be doing it on that first pod. I could, if you run out of pods, you just slide over to the next ones. Okay, so I enter the lab. Now you can actually set up your reservations ahead of time too. I could actually put another lab in here and say, do this one at 10 a.m. and have it sitting there so that I kind of protect myself. So, but basically, you just set it for when you're ready to go. All right, so this brings me to a topology. And you'll see these different entities. You'll see that basically we have a Linux firewall on this particular one. We're going to have a 0.200. We've got a 131.107.0.0 CIDR/24. We've got, so each one of these has an internal environment, and this is the this one's a /24 also, but it's a 192.168.12.0. So it's got a different, because this is the internal network and this is the external network, they're going to have different IP addresses. I kind of cut off the bottom here, I'm sorry. But this is a Windows R2 2K, it's going to be R2 internal, and this will be another internal with 2, and then we've got a backtrack 5 internal. Find the content, and you could do the content before you do this, but basically you go to content and it's going to show you a PDF of the lab. Now you could download this and that would be very easy, or if you're fortunate to have 2 screens, put the PDF on one screen and do the other. But it's very fortunate because they do a pretty good thing about getting around. So let's say I'm starting this one. You should read everything they tell you, because if you skip steps and jumping around, you're going to be in trouble. First of all, it's talking about you're going to use Wireshark. And I was going to introduce this to you later, but this is actually a very valuable lab because it does talk about Wireshark, which is a packet sniffer. And we're going to do that on a virtual box. So this lab is going to go through and you're going to talk about, it usually gives you like key terms: connection-oriented, connectionless data transfer, PDU, OSI. It'll show you a bunch of TCP, UDP, IANA, IP MAC addresses, OUI. So everything is really helpful because it does encapsulation and decapsulation. Everything in here is something you should be desiring. Then we go into the lab topology and it tells us, this is in the documentation, of how to set up. This is going to be our Windows internal, which we just saw, and the password is going to be capital P ampersand SSWORD, and you'll see it in there. But the one thing you will have to do is go, and it's in here, you're going to have to, instead of hitting Control Alt Delete, that won't work in these virtuals. So you go to the PC, you'll click on that, and then you'll that will then allow you to log in as an administrator. So let's start with that. It says, okay, it's going to tell us now. It's going to review everything about OSI, Wireshark. This is a good document. These are the PDUs that we talked about. And then you're going to read all this, but this is, Wireshark's just teaching you a little bit about what it is, what it does, and then you're going, and what we're going to do. It's kind of a long, I told you it's a long one, I'm not lying to you. But you're going to go in and you are going to, oh, I think I got a little too far. Let's see. I don't want to make this really long, so. Oh, here. This is probably where it wants me. Yeah, it's saying, click this. Okay, so I go into the, I'm going to use the internal 2. So it says, using the PC version of the Windows 2K R2. So we go away from content for a moment and we go to Windows R2K internal 2. That's the one it said to use. right here. I'm going to come here. I'm going to click here for send and Control-Alt-Delete because you can't do it any other way. Now I get my administrator. I'll put my password in. PASSW0RD, and it welcomes me. So this is kind of weird. This is kind of new, but just say activate now, or ask. Actually, I don't care which one you do. Activate. Let's do activate now, so we don't have to worry about it. It's important. Say okay. Okay. So now I have my screen. I'm logged in. It brings me here, and I go over here to my content again, and I look. Well, okay, I'm logged in. It tells me to log in. I've logged in as an administrator, and what do I do now? And there's going to be some time, so plan some time. Now it's going to talk to you a little bit about how Wireshark runs, because we're going to turn on Wireshark. Let's see. Okay, it says the running application, web page, machine and topology. Also, it's on the external, so follow the instructions, and effectively you're going to get to the point where, let's see, I think it's still talking. Let's see. You are going to open this one. What you're basically going to do is you're going to go to read the instructions, but we just went to 2. So since we're already in 2 and now we've logged in here, we are going to click out of here for now. We're going to go to Wireshark. We're going to go to Lab 1, actually, I believe. Give me a little break on this one, because this is going to be done soon. But this is where Wireshark could come up. And I could also, but it's going to tell you to click on Lab 1. What that's going to do is it's going to open up Wireshark, and it's going to give you this, which is the exact same as the instructions, which is perfect because this capture, as you can see, you can look through here, you're seeing protocols. This is I got to talk fast because I only have 2 more minutes. This is where you can capture based on filters and all that. This is the actual, if I click on one of these, I can see the actual transmissions in the frame, the Ethernet 2, and then down here it's all in code. So there's some really powerful tools in here, but I'm going to have to log out of this fast. You can see now when you're all done, if you get to the point where you're close to done, it'll tell you. And if I need to, I can go to reservation here and request more time, and it will give me more time. If I'm all done, then I end the reservation now. And always end your reservation. And back we go.